My name is Emily Parker. I work as an assistant in a busy office in Chicago. The office has tall windows, gray desks, and soft lights on the ceiling. Every morning, I take the train to work and hope for a good day. I like my job and I always try to help my team. Sometimes the office feels noisy and rushed, but I do my work carefully. Today, I feel a little nervous because my boss, Mr. Carter, seems upset. He talks loudly and the team looks worried. Still, I believe I can handle what comes next. When I arrive at my desk, I see a big stack of papers waiting for me. A cold cup of coffee sits next to my computer and I sigh. I know today will be busy. I try to smile at Sarah, my coworker, but she looks too busy to notice. I open my computer and start checking emails. My heart beats a bit faster because there are so many new tasks. I read a message from Mr. Carter. He asks for a report by noon. It is only 8 o'clock and my hands shake a little as I type. There is a chart he wants updated, but some of the numbers do not make sense to me. As I work, I try to remember everything Mr. Carter taught me, but I still feel confused. I ask him politely, "Excuse me, Mr. Carter, can you explain which numbers I should use for the chart?" He frowns. He does not look very patient. "Emily, you should know this by now," he says. The words make my face hot with embarrassment. I go back to my desk, feeling small. I tell myself not to cry. Maybe I really am too slow. Maybe I am not good enough for this job. A few minutes later, Jacob from the accounting team stops by my desk. He sees me struggling and offers a quiet smile. "Are you okay, Emily?" he asks. I tell him the truth, that I am confused about the data. He helps me find the right numbers and checks my chart. I feel thankful, but I also feel silly for not knowing in the first place. As Jacob walks back to his office, I wish I was as quick as him. I tell myself to try harder, but the doubt grows in my mind. I print the report and bring it to Mr. Carter's office. He barely looks at it before sighing loudly and saying, "Emily, you missed the summary page." His voice is sharp. The air in the room feels heavier. "I'm sorry. I'll fix it," I whisper, wishing I could disappear. He shakes his head. "You have to be more careful. We can't make mistakes in this office." The words hurt more than I want to admit. I hurry back to my desk, feeling everyone's eyes on me, even though they are not looking. As I fix the report, my fingers tremble. Everyone around me seems sure and fast, but I am not. I hear Mr. Carter laugh in the break room with Sarah and some others. He always jokes with them, but he never smiles at me. I worry that maybe I am not good enough to fit in. Still, I finish the report and bring it to him again. This time he just nods but does not say thank you. I gulp quietly and try to focus on my work, but my mind is still full of doubt. Will tomorrow be better? I hope so, but I am not sure. The next day, I come to work hoping things will be a little easier. But even before I put down my bag, Mr. Carter calls me to his office. He speaks quickly, telling me there is an important client meeting later today. He wants me to prepare a list of all our biggest projects from last year and also make sure the meeting room is ready. His voice is sharp as he says, "This must be perfect, Emily. If you make any mistakes, it reflects badly on all of us." My heart pounds and I nod, feeling the pressure on my shoulders grow heavier. I go back to my desk and start looking for the project files. But there are so many papers, and I cannot find some of the reports. I ask Sarah if she knows where they are, but she rolls her eyes and says, "You should have kept them in order, Emily." Her words sting, and I feel even more alone. It seems like no one wants to help me today. I bite my lip and keep searching. I find some of the files, but I worry they are not complete. I double-check the project list, but I am afraid of missing something important. My hands are sweaty, and my head aches a little, but I keep working. The ticking clock on the wall reminds me that time is running out. While I am looking through the files, my phone rings. It is Mr. Carter again. He says the client is coming in 2 hours instead of 3, so I must move even faster. I hear the stress in his voice, and it makes me feel even more worried. I wish I could ask someone for help, but everyone looks busy and unhappy. I quickly put together the list, but I know it is not as perfect as it should be. I rush to the meeting room and see that it is messy, with old coffee cups and papers on the table. I clean up as fast as I can, but part of me worries I will forget something important. As I work, I hear voices from the hallway. Sarah and Jacob are talking. I hear Sarah say, "Emily always seems so nervous. She makes things harder for everyone else." I feel my cheeks burn with shame. Jacob does not answer. I think he feels bad for me, but I am not sure. After I finish in the meeting room, I sit at my desk and look at my hands. My fingers are shaking and I feel close to tears. I am upset with myself for making mistakes, but I am also angry that no one wants to help. I know I cannot keep going like this. A new feeling comes to me mixed in with the fear and stress. I realize I need to do something different. If I keep letting fear control me, nothing will get better. Maybe I need to speak up or ask for more help, even if people do not like it. I decide that I will not give up, no matter how hard today is. I sit up straighter and take a deep breath, ready to face the rest of the day. The afternoon sun shines through the big office windows, but I do not feel warm. Instead, my heart feels heavy and cold. After lunch, Mr. Carter comes to my desk with a hard look on his face. In his hand, he has the list I made. He does not even sit. He just stands near my desk, his voice low and sharp. "Emily, there are mistakes on this list," he says. "If you cannot do this right, maybe you are not ready for this job." The words hit me like a slap. People nearby look up from their computers. My cheeks feel hot. My throat feels tight. I almost say nothing, but then I think of all the times I worked late, all the times I did my best. I remember sitting here every morning, hoping things would change. For a moment, I want to shrink in my chair. My mind is busy with fear and doubt. I tell myself, maybe I do not belong here. Maybe Sarah is right to talk about me when she thinks I cannot hear. Maybe Mr. Carter thinks I am a mistake. But something changes inside me. I know I am not lazy or careless. I remember how I asked for help, how I tried to fix things even when it was hard. I start to feel angry, not just scared. I realize that if I do not speak up for myself now, nothing will ever change. I take a deep breath and stand up. My legs are shaky, but I look Mr. Carter in the eyes. My voice is quiet at first, almost small, but I keep going. "I am sorry I made a mistake," I say, "but the files were not easy to find. I asked for help, but I felt alone. I want to do a good job here, but I need support. I want to understand and learn." My voice gets stronger as I talk. People in the office stop what they are doing. Everyone looks at us now, but I do not look down. Mr. Carter's face changes a little. Maybe he is surprised that I am speaking up. For a second, he is silent. My heart pounds fast in my ears, but I keep standing there. He shakes his head and says, "Work is hard sometimes, Emily. You need to learn to handle it. This is not the place for someone who is too sensitive." The words cut deep, sharper than before. I almost want to cry, but I bite my lip. His voice is louder now, and everyone around can hear. I feel exposed, but still I do not sit down. I look around and see Jacob watching me. He does not look away. Something inside me grows stronger. I say again, I want to get better, but I cannot do it alone. I need training and support like everyone else. I am doing my best and I deserve respect. My voice does not break this time. Everything in the office is quiet for a moment. People do not say anything. I do not know what will happen next. My fear is still here, but I also feel proud because I tried to stand up for myself. This might change everything. Maybe I made a mistake, maybe I took a risk, but I know I did the right thing by finally speaking up. For a moment, time feels frozen in the office. Everyone is quiet. My hands shake a little, but I do not sit down. Mr. Carter still looks strict, but now he says nothing at all. He turns and walks back to his office, leaving my report on the desk. I stand there, not knowing if I am in trouble or if I did something right. I feel my heart beat fast in my chest. Everyone in the room looks away, acting busy, but I can sense their curiosity. For a second, I wonder if I have just made my whole situation worse. Sarah does not say anything to me, but I see her looking sideways. Part of me feels scared. Maybe she will gossip about me even more now. But I remind myself I did what I needed to do. I take slow breaths and sit down again, trying to steady my shaking hands. My stomach feels tight, and I feel a strange mix of fear and relief. Did I just give my boss a reason to fire me, or did I show strength? I am not sure yet. Jacob walks by and stops at my desk. He does not say much, just offers a soft, "You were brave, Emily." His words surprise me, and I almost want to cry, but this time from something good. I nod and whisper, "Thank you." It is the first kind word I hear today. Later in the afternoon, there is a heavy feeling across the office. Mr. Carter does not call me to his office again. He does not give me more work. I keep doing my tasks, still worried about what might come next. Inside, I keep thinking about what I did. I realized that even though my hands were shaking and my voice was weak, I stood up for myself. That is new for me. Before today, I always said yes, always tried to fix things quietly. But today, I did not hide. I said what I needed to say, even if people thought I was too sensitive or weak. The hours pass slowly. A little before it is time to go home, Mr. Carter sends an email to the whole team. He writes that everyone must work together better, and he reminds us about how teamwork helps our office. He does not mention my name or what happened, but his words are softer than before. When I read the email, I do not know how to feel. Some coworkers, like Jacob, give me small smiles. Others keep quiet, but I notice they do not laugh or whisper in the break room the rest of the day. While I close my computer and put away my things, I think about everything. The mistakes, yes, but also the way I tried. I learned that even if my actions make others upset, I still have a right to respect. Speaking up was not easy. It made me feel scared, even a little bit alone. But I showed myself I am stronger than I thought. I do not know what will happen tomorrow, but I know I survived today and was true to myself. That matters more to me now than what anyone else thinks. The sun goes down behind the tall office buildings. As I ride the train home, I look out the window and think about my day. My body is tired, but my mind is awake. The feeling of speaking up to Mr. Carter is still inside me. All day, I worried about what would happen. I was so afraid I would lose my job or that my coworkers would laugh at me. But looking back now, I see that something important changed. I did not only stand up for myself, I also learned my voice matters even when it shakes. I tell myself, maybe I am not too sensitive after all. Maybe I care deeply, and that can be a good thing. I put my bag down on the seat next to me. A soft buzz from my phone tells me there is a new message. It is from Jacob. He says today was tough. You showed real strength. Don't forget it. His words warm me. In the past, I always admired people like him who seemed calm and sure of themselves. Now I realize everyone has hard days and private doubts. Maybe Jacob was nervous too once. I reply with a simple thank you and smile at my reflection in the window. I decide to be kinder to myself because I understand that mistakes do not make me weak or bad. They are just part of learning. The next morning, I arrive at work early. The office is quiet and the lights are soft. I make a cup of coffee and sit quietly at my desk. While I get ready for the day, Jacob stops by again. He shares a story about when he was new and made a big mistake in front of the whole company. He says he felt embarrassed and he almost gave up, but in the end, he learned more from that mistake than from many good days. We all have hard times, Emily. Sometimes the only way to get stronger is to face them. He tells me. We both laugh and I feel my shoulders relax. After he leaves, I think about everything. I remind myself that it is okay to make mistakes if I keep learning from them. I do my work with more care but also with more kindness to myself. When I finish tasks, I check them twice, not just because I am scared but because I want to get better. I do not try to rush just to make people happy. I realize now that I have the right to ask questions. Instead of staying silent and worried, I know I can always ask for support if I feel confused. This makes the work feel lighter. At lunch, Sarah sits near me. She does not say much, but when she drops her pen, I pick it up and give it back with a smile. She quietly says thanks. Things are still not perfect between us, but I do not let it bother me so much now. I think my small actions and the way I carry myself can slowly make things better over time. Sitting there, I know I am not powerless. I am proud of myself for facing yesterday's challenge. Now, I focus on each new task and trust that I can handle the next hard moment with a stronger heart. The days move on and I start to notice small changes in the way I act at work. When I walk into the office, I stand a little taller. My steps are slow and steady and I remind myself to breathe. Whenever a new task comes to me or an email arrives from Mr. Carter, I do not feel my heart race the same way it did before. I still get nervous sometimes, but now I pause, take a moment to read carefully, and make a simple plan. If I am not sure about something, I no longer feel afraid to ask. I go to Jacob or even to Sarah, politely saying, "Can you help me understand this part?" Most times, they answer in a friendly way and the work goes smoother. I find that I am not alone in my challenges. Others in the office ask for help too, and when they do, I listen and support them just as Jacob did for me. When Sarah looks confused with a chart one morning, I offer to show her what I did when I had trouble before. She looks surprised, but then she smiles softly and says thanks. These moments show me that teamwork does not mean doing everything perfectly, it means looking out for each other. Even Mr. Carter seems a little different. He makes fewer sharp comments, and once, while passing by my desk, he nods and says, "Good work on that file, Emily." The words are simple, but to me they mean a lot. Every day I give myself more credit. Instead of thinking I am too sensitive, I remind myself that caring deeply is my strength. It helps me notice details, remember people's birthdays, and sense when someone needs a hand. This new way of thinking makes my work lighter and helps me enjoy small things, like sharing jokes in the lunchroom or talking with Jacob during the coffee break. When tough tasks come, I break them into little steps and focus on steady progress, telling myself it is okay not to know everything right away. Mistakes happen, but now I write them down as lessons to remember, not as reasons to be ashamed. There are still stressful times, like when we have a tight deadline and everyone in the office looks serious and tired. But now I speak my ideas when we meet. I do not hide behind my notes. Even if my voice is quiet, people listen. I think others start to believe in me because I believe in myself. Something in me trusts that even if things go wrong, I am learning and getting stronger. One afternoon, when the office is full of busy sounds, Mr. Carter announces a new project. This time, he asks if I want to help organize as part of a small team. My first thought is surprise, but then I feel proud. I say yes, feeling calm about the responsibility. That night, as I tidy my desk and close my computer, I see how much I have changed. I do not fear mistakes as much now because I know I can handle them. I do not keep to myself all the time, but try to help others when I can. Walking to the elevator, I feel hopeful about tomorrow. My thoughts are kinder and my steps are lighter because I know I am strong enough to face whatever comes next. The weeks pass and the office feels different to me now. Every day, I come in a bit earlier and greet the security guard downstairs with a friendly good morning. At my desk, my papers are neat and my mind feels clearer. I do not worry as much about making mistakes because I know one mistake does not define all my work or who I am. I still work hard on my tasks, but there is something new in the way I go about my day. I trust myself more than before. When I meet challenges, a missing report, an urgent task from Mr. Carter, or a confusing client email, I promise myself not to panic. I slow down, break problems into smaller steps, and remember that I can always ask for help when I need it. In small ways, I notice my courage is growing. I do not think of myself as too sensitive anymore. Instead, I see sensitivity as a gift. It helps me notice when someone is having a rough day, when they are quiet during lunch, or when they forget their coffee. I use these moments to reach out, even if it is just with a smile or a simple question. Sometimes Sarah sits with me and we talk about things outside of work. She laughs more and so do I. Jacob remains a friend, always steady and warm, and we often encourage each other when long days feel hard. Mr. Carter is still the same in many ways, busy and sometimes strict, but he gives more clear directions now and even says thank you more often. I do not expect him to change overnight, but I no longer think that his quick words mean I am not good at my job. I learned that what matters most is how I see myself and how I keep learning. My confidence does not come from never being scared, but from acting even when I am. Each project gives me a new chance to show what I can do. Sometimes I think back to those difficult weeks, the long days, the tight feeling in my chest, and the moment I thought I would always be afraid at work. Now I know that hard times can help us find new strength inside. I keep a notebook in my drawer and write down the small victories and lessons I learn each week. When doubt comes back, I look at those pages and remember all the progress I have made. On Friday afternoons, when the office feels light with the hope of the weekend, I stand with my team and feel like I belong. I know everybody here has their own struggles, and now I am able to share my own story without shame. I do not expect perfection from myself. I simply expect that I will keep trying, keep speaking up, and keep moving forward no matter what comes next. As I leave for home, the city feels full of bright lights and new chances. I feel stronger than I did at the start. I do not know every answer, and I still have days that are difficult, but I am not afraid anymore to be myself. I am hopeful about the future. There is a quiet happiness in my heart knowing I can handle what comes.